Hi, I'm back. I wanted to read you something that I came across, and I find it quite interesting that what was going on this past weekend, I think it was Saturday, at the Nevada convention. It was horrendous there. Truly horrendous. They talk about the Sanders people, supporters, bullying Barbara Boxer, who is a big-time Hillary supporter from California. I think she's a senator from California. But she was the one who sort of instigated them to be even riled up more. She wasn't even supposed to speak at first. There's lots of news on the media about chairs being thrown, which there wasn't. I posted a video on my wall and on Facebook, and I think I put it on Twitter and G+ as well. Excuse me. But I'm going to try to touch on something that hasn't been touched on, such as Barbara Boxer inciting them. She and her voice is so high-pitched, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I don't like her voice to begin with. She was like, keep booing. You're booing Bernie. What do you mean you're booing Bernie? No, they're not booing Bernie. They're booing what you're saying. They were booing the chairwoman, the chairperson, Roberta Lang. They were booing her, and then Barbara Boxer got up to try to supposedly calm them down or speak some words of wisdom, but that wasn't the case. She actually inflamed them further. You're booing Bernie? You're booing America? And further she said, you're booing, you can boo yourself right out of this election, because Roberta Lang had complete authority to eject anyone. And from what I heard, no one was ejected, so it couldn't have been that bad. So with the chair incident, that wasn't discussed too much. It was discussed by Debbie Wasserman Schultz from the DNC. I think she mentioned it once, and Roberta Lang might have, she went on the media circuit, and she said that chairs were being thrown. One person picked up a chair, and then two people, I guess it's his friends, they took the chair away from him and they hugged him, and he ended up crying. He just had built up emotions, but the chair was never flung in any direction. And I saw the video. It's true. It wasn't. I saw the hug. I didn't see the tears because he had them back to me, but that's what they said occurred after. I also heard that a slightly older woman who was slightly inebriated saw an 11-year-old girl holding a sign up, jumping up and down, Bernie, Bernie, she was saying, and excited. And this woman proceeded to take the sign away from her, rip it up, or rip it in half, and yell at her. And the girl was inconsolable for about an hour afterwards, crying her eyes out. That's nice way for a Hillary Clinton supporter to treat a young girl. She should try that with an adult. I don't know how she got alcohol in there. I didn't know alcohol was allowed in the place. But then again, that's hearsay. Who knows if she was really inebriated? She could have just had an issue. So, in any case, my cat is meowing and annoying me. High pitch. I have a document that I wanted to read to you, and this is from the 19th. That's today. Oh, here it is. Timeline. Yep, this is it. Nevada Convention Timeline. I named the document. Okay, so temporary rules. Item 1 on the agenda of the convention was to vote for the temporary rules to pass. Now, 2 weeks prior, or a week or so around that time frame, rules were sent out to all the delegates. They didn't like the rules. They went to court to try to get it to be stopped. They didn't have enough time afterwards to do anything further, but the judge turned it down. He said he didn't want to get involved in any government or that issue. I don't know exactly why he turned it down, the technicalities, but he turned it down. So because of the time frame and them getting it so late, they had no opportunity to try to take it to a higher court or appeal it or excuse the judge or for what any further proceedings. So that was a wash. Fine. So they go there. Prior to, they got petitions signed. And while there, they continued to get petitions signed. The heads of the delegates, they distributed papers, and they're all the same petition, but this way mass amount of people can get them signed. And they had a stack of papers like this much, and they wanted to present it to Roberta Lang to get things to stop it, to stop the temporary rules from being put in place, and she wouldn't accept them. She ignored them. The woman, first she said she couldn't hear her, so she wasn't going to acknowledge her. So the woman went and got a bullhorn, and then she was just ignored. Just completely ignored, like as if the bullhorn wasn't loud enough. She didn't expect that, in other words. Why did my computer go totally black? Okay, so item 1 on the agenda of the convention was to vote in the temporary rules to pass, to make them permanent. This was conducted by a paper ballot. The vote was supposed to be held after the convention would officially start, but instead it was held immediately at 9:30. Meanwhile, there was 2 lines of Bernie supporters still trying to get in. They said when they were coming into the convention, I hear that if you were a Hillary supporter, you went in one line. If you were a Bernie supporter, you went into another line. There were so many Bernie supporters, they had to break it up, and there was 2 lines. I guess they had to do the security check, and that's why there was lines. So she didn't wait till the 10 o'clock start. She started at 9:30. So a woman stood up and said, you know, everybody didn't get the ballot. There's still people waiting to get in, so it's not fair that you're taking a vote. So can we please redo it? Okay. So the motion to have a revote of the temporary rules was demanded. Well, it was proposed. And the DNC chair instead held a voice vote. And that's what started everything, because you could clearly hear that the Bernie Sanders supporters won the voice vote. Some people say, well, it sounded louder on film or on video because it was filmed from a Bernie supporter side, and therefore, of course, you're in the midst of it. But my question is, why aren't there any Hillary Clinton videos online? Hillary Clinton supporter videos online? Are they that not engaged that they didn't want to take any filming? That's one question I have. If anybody has any or knows of any film that Clinton supporters took, please share it. Give me a link in the bottom. I'd love to see their perspective. But in any case, yeah, so they did the voice vote, and it clearly, there was Erin Brinby, I think that was her name. She was running for office. I don't know if she got in, but well, I think she did, but because she's part of the DNC party as well, and she's a super delegate, so she must have gotten in. Her father was a long-time congressman. I think he was a congressman for 35 years. His first name was John. He was a Hillary supporter. She's a Bernie supporter, super delegate for Bernie. He got so upset with the outcome and the way things were going so unfairly that he ripped up his ballot and threw it away and left. Now, that's a Hillary supporter and a long-time congressman. That says something. And there was a video of an older woman. She tore up her Hillary ballot, and she couldn't go over to the Sanders side, but she sat with the Sanders side at that point in time because she was upset. But she wasn't going to be a delegate anymore for Hillary because she was so upset. So here we go. Motion to have a revote. Okay. But who cares? She votes to pass it. So after hearing, and if you look at the video, you see her, like, first she looks to her left at somebody there, and she shrugs her shoulder a little bit, and then she turns to her right, and she mouths something to somebody, and she looks perplexed as what to do, because it was clearly Bernie Sanders supporters won the voice vote. But negate that, she says. Nope. Clinton supporters got it, she says. And I would have been extremely upset too. Today I found from 2012, I think it was, Republican convention. I think it was in Florida. I'll see if I can put a link in the description. They had ruckus. Big time ruckus. Because all very similar circumstances occurred. And I'm going to be posting them on my social media feeds too, so people can see that this is it's been brewing for a while, and not just in the Democratic Party. So, because of the possible theft of Bernie Sanders' nomination, he is still going to take it to the convention, so we don't know what's going to happen at the convention, and I'm hoping things work out at the convention. But I'm also looking into ways that the government can be changed by we the people without being an elected official. So I found some stuff, and I'll be making some other videos, and I'll be putting it on my playlist called Activism. I'll be talking about that there. But let's get back to the Nevada convention. So, let me see. The motion to revote the temporary rules. Okay, then the 64 delegates were ejected from the convention because they didn't have the proper credentials. Okay? Even though these people have now been contacted, supposedly they did. But I heard from one that said that two of her friends and she herself, her party affiliation had been changed to Republican. Now, mind you, when she went to vote, she had to be a Democrat. So that wasn't that long ago. She was a Democrat at that point in time. To run to become a delegate, you had to be a Democrat. She was still a Democrat at that point in time. That was at the county caucuses. So somewhere between the county caucus time and the state convention time, her party affiliation was mysteriously changed. Now, she's a delegate. Why would she go ahead and do that? And the other two also. So, get the word out, if you can, to anybody that you know that's a delegate, or to state if you're a part of a group that's other states that have conventions coming up. Warn them, the delegates, to check their party affiliation, because here we go again, more corruption, more crookedness occurring, because that gets rid of Bernie, and none of the Hillary people were switched to Republican. Just a coincidence, right? So the DNC, or rather the Lang, they went behind closed doors with the executive board, and supposedly they couldn't find the people, they couldn't find the delegates, that were supposed to be there, or they said that they sent out notices, and everybody said they didn't get any notices, that their address was wrong, or their name was spelt wrong, or something was amiss, and nobody got notices. So now, who are you going to believe? The people, 58 people it turned out to be, because they accepted 8 people back in. 58 people that says no, they didn't get a notice, or lying in the executive board. And the executive board also said some of them, they just couldn't find their records at all. They just mysteriously disappeared. Which now, mysteriously, because of this, because of that particular thing, is how Hillary got the state was flipped back over to her. By 30 delegates, she won. Now, Roberta Lang, she also commandeered all the microphones and surrounded herself by police at all times. Even on the videos, she said that just to go to the restroom, she had to have a police escort. Now, a Nevada 2nd Congressional District candidate, Dan Roll, was able to get up to the microphone, and he made a motion to call for the removal of the chairwoman, Roberta Lang. And as soon as he made that motion, bang, immediately his microphone was shut off. Now, of course, the motion was ignored. And the great explanation of why this motion was ignored, I just can't believe it. I'm not even going to go into it right now. Now, the DNC employs stalling tactics and psychological tactics to try to force people to leave, making them wait hours and hours while nothing happened. They played the music super loud, because they know a lot of older people were there and they don't like loud, or they don't like music, the kind of music that was playing. And also, this is a coincidence that 3 colleges in Nevada were having graduation. And they planned the convention for that date. And they know that a lot of delegates and a lot of people of younger, the millennial age, that are in college, are Bernie supporters. So that would thereby get rid of all those people being able to attend, unless they chose to skip their own college graduation, a once-in-a-lifetime thing. But then again, this is a once-in-a-lifetime thing. I don't know. If I was in that predicament, I don't know what the heck I would do. Well, anyway, they charge $5 for a tiny bottle of water. They locked the bathrooms. People online ordered pizza from outside pizzerias. Once the pizzas got there, it was realized what was going on, and then the police started intercepting the pizzas and throwing them away. So they didn't even get a chance to get upstairs to the people that was there for 15 to 16 hours. Now that's dedication. My heart goes out to these people. I commend them so much, these delegates. They went through so much. That's real hard for Bernie, man. Now, 3rd Congressional District candidate, Jesse Sabaya, he gets on the microphone and he makes a motion for a recount, and everybody cheers. The motion was ignored. Now, Roberta Lang, she jumps up on stage and in like 15 seconds makes a bunch of different motions, and then basically says, you know, all the shady things that has happened here tonight, don't worry about it. The pro-Hillary delegates results stand and this meeting is adjourned. She goes, does a quick voice vote, and the nays, which is Bernie Sanders, was louder, of course, but she passes everything regardless, ignores the nays, and runs off the stage. Actually, she hardly even gave them a chance. She says yays, and she lets them, she waits a couple of seconds. Nays, bang. Alright, well, concluded. Like, it's almost as soon as she said nays, she said, okay, it's concluded, and banged. So, like, they didn't even get checked. They would be like, hey, that's how you would have to say it. Police then not stormed in, not run in, but they came in force, and everyone was told to leave or they would be arrested. Now, by the rule change and delegate suppression, there's a change of 8 delegates total. Instead of Bernie winning by 1916, the results is now 2015. And it's 20 for Clinton and 15 for Bernie. So, you know, it's just afterwards is what really was bad. Bernie landed in California. He was in Puerto Rico while this was going on. So when he landed in California, the press met him and they asked him, but he didn't have an opportunity to view tapes or anything, so he doesn't speak on things he doesn't know. So he said, okay, good night, and he avoided the subject, basically. So the next day, I guess, overnight, he had an opportunity to review what went on, and he issued a press statement. And it was a very eloquently written press statement. I don't know if I can get it up here. But it shows me how much of a leader he will be, and how honest he is, how much integrity the man has. He really is good. I'll try to find it. In the meantime, I came across this, which reminds me, California's coming up, and a poll worker put out a tape that she was being told that if a independent comes in or a non-registered party affiliation comes in to vote, they are to be given a provisional ballot. So she said to the teacher or instructor, I don't get that, and I thought that Democrats would allow independent voters or voters that are non-affiliated to vote Democrat. So the woman's slideshow, instructional slideshow, didn't show that. The page in the book that they were referring to didn't show that. So when this woman gets home, she goes and calls, I don't remember who she called, the state, somebody in the state for elections, maybe the State Board of Elections, and she was told that they are to be giving a Democrat switchover, crossover ballot. So when California voters go, the poll workers aren't even trained, and they're going to give them a provisional ballot, which is, in the end, going to be tossed. It's not going to count. And if a voter comes in and they don't know, and they ask, the poll worker is not going to know, is going to be trained wrong. So thousands and thousands of votes. And already I hear that there's 500,000 voters that have been disenfranchised already from there. I'm having issues with my computer. I don't know why. Yeah, so 500,000 people have either been switched, just like in every other state. Their party affiliation has been switched, and they've been a lifelong Democrat. It's all over the internet. It's absurd how much corruption is going on here. I don't know why I can't get up what I want to get up. It just keeps going in a circle. I wanted to get you the Bernie Sanders thing, but you could read it on your own. Just go to his site. It's recent. And there was another thing. The delegates in the states. Oh, I think I mentioned that. They're having their party affiliation switched from Democrat. Just like that woman said that she and her 2 friends had. So you gotta please try to either go to my timeline or G Plus account and share it from there, or make up one of your own, because that it's I mean, delegates are already assigned. We're going to lose delegates that way now? Every which way they can screw Bernie, they're screwing him. It's unbelievable. And not just Bernie, then it's us, it's his supporters, and ultimately the American people. All, whether you vote for Bernie or not. I just say that some people just don't know how good he is. They're just stuck in their ways. I'm a Republican and that's it. I'll never vote for a Democrat. Well, once you see how good Bernie is, you'll thank us. Okay, Dan. And where is his thing? Absolute bull. I can't find it. Well, you'll have to read it from Bernie's site. So I'm going to make another tape a little later. Wanted to get this one popped out and onto my YouTube account and for everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. Stay positive. Oh, he won Oregon straight out. He won every county in Oregon except for one county, and he lost by 1 vote, that county. So it's not like he lost by a lot, right? But that shows you how important each and every single vote is. So make sure you get out there and vote, and encourage everybody else to get out there and vote if your state is still coming up. And if you're done and you're ready to go to convention, stay positive. No violence. Booing is not violence. So if you have to boo, boo, but, no violence, people. We don't need Bernie to have to take heat for that. We want to be better than that. We want to be better than the Trump people. We'll get through it. Truth will prevail. Love will prevail. What does Bernie say? Love trumps hate. So we will prevail. And in Kentucky, there's some suspicious things that occurred, but he didn't win it. But he didn't win it by like a fraction of a percentage. I don't have the thing in front of me, but it wasn't even 1% that he lost it by. So as far as I remember, the last tally that I saw, and I think it was at 99% already in at that point. So he didn't lose by much, I should say. My English is bad. He had needed to win every single state by 65%, but he's still going to be able to contest it. And some of the delegates, the super delegates, have seen the crap that went on at the Nevada convention. So that's going to be in their head. So it might be possible that even though that was a bad thing, it could turn out to be a good thing. That they see how bad it is. And it might make them think twice about sticking with her. Because she was supposed to be giving money to the delegates. 400 delegates signed on before anybody cast a vote, before Bernie Sanders entered the race, because she promised them, when she raised money and whatever, she would give money to their states. But now it's been found out that she's kept 99% of that money. So they're seeing how much she's lying already to them. And their vote's not up yet. You would think that she would give say, here's some money, I'll give you the rest later. But no, she kept 99% for herself. This way she could hold on to them at least until they vote for her in the GE. Or not the GE, at the convention. But no, she kept it for herself. Maybe, I'm thinking she's keeping all this money because of all the email crap that's going on. That's another story for another video. But you stay strong, burners. Stay vigilant. Donate when you can. What you can. Do what you can. Face bank. Spread the word. Spread the information. Share the links that are important. Try not to spread any negativity. Even against her. I mean, you could, like Bernie, he does the issues with her. Release the transcript. That's not negative. She should. She's against fracking. You could say that, but you don't have to get personal, like, oh, she's ugly or stuff like that. That's petty. That's not going to help us win, because that just turns the Hillary supporters even further against us. And this convention has distanced many Bernie supporters from the Democratic Party. If you go to the Nevada State Democratic Party on Facebook and you see the comments there, there's barely one or two for Hillary. The rest is all, how dare you, and I was considering joining if Hillary won the nomination, but this just was the nail in the coffin, stuff along those lines. It further separated the Democratic Party, and I don't know if it can ever be repaired. Maybe if Bernie was to win the nomination and be the president, the Democratic Party could be repaired. But at this point in time, I don't foresee that. And I'm even looking to other parties now. Well, I was unregistered before Bernie. I registered because of Bernie in the Democratic Party. But after the election, that's it. I'm going back to being independent. I'm not going to stay Democrat because it's too shady. So, Face Bank Canvas, that's so important if you're in a state that's coming up. Phone Bank, there's apps through Bernie's site. You could go to Bernie's official webpage, and a little tutorial they have for you with videos, with text, teach you how to do it, real easy. Events for phone banking. It's more fun if you do it together, if that's your type of thing, or do it at home by yourself. But we got to get more people excited. Keep the people excited too. Right? Stay positive. Positive brings positivity. Negativity brings negativity. We don't need negativity. Stay positive, burners.